we're not even gonna talk about how nice the motherfucking playoff bets were looking.
21-2, bro. It's including
right.
700, plus 300, plus 500.
Eagles to force 2 turnovers. I don't know what Brock Purdy looks like under pressure.
Personally rocking with Brock Hard Purdy and this 49ers defense. Shanahan and them boys, they've been there, done that. Sirianni hasn't been there. He hasn't done that.
Pat Mahomes is not good at his name getting messed up. It's not going to slow down even slightly.
Fuck it, let him in, passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're talking the AFC, NFC Championship games. And as always, go down, drop your comment of your picks, your bets. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, like this video. These are your hosts. I'm Paul, Pick 'em, Win 'em Concha, the drunk sport gambler, the sport encyclopedia, the controversy. And as always, my co-host.
Man, that boy Paul came in with that energy today. I like it, man. It's your boy Kev, Waterboy, boy, a.k.a. the Dom P.Y.E., a.k.a. the realest motherfucker on your screen. Damn, Paul, we at the motherfucking conference championships. My team, my pick, gone.
I actually rewatched our preseason video, and you want to know who my picks were?
Were
the Rams and the Raiders. The Rams they were so good before the season on paper, and they were shit the bed. The Raiders were like more my long shot pick.
Damn, that's freezing cold.
That's super cool. The Raiders were like 0-7 at one point.
Who was my other pick?
You took the Bills, and the NFC you took because we did one to each side.
I probably took Packers, my dusty ass.
You did. You said every year the Packers seem like the obvious choice, and they always burn me. This year I'm doing it again. You're like that's how he did it.
And usually when I say they always burn me, I usually get burnt. That's what I learned this season.
Yeah, there was some cold takes like our Derek Carr MVP pick, my Lamar Jackson MVP pick got killed a long time ago. I think you took Joe Burrow MVP. That wasn't a bad pick.
Yeah, I took that's right, Steve. Hey, he didn't start playing well until now.
Yeah, like his second half season. If you play like that all year, you'll be looking pretty. And then I'm trying to remember what else I remember off the top of my head. Like the Jags pick was there. You had one where it was like the Falcons over under was way too low because how do the Giants, Panthers, and the Seahawks have a higher one? And then all three of those teams like had like a really good season for what it's worth.
In my defense, we beat the Seahawks.
And then we both shitted on the Cowboys. Like, this team won't win like more than 10. They got worse everywhere on the paper.
I'm crying.
And then the boys had like a 12-win season. Like, they were at one point like, I think 10-2. And I was sitting there like, damn, like that's dead.
Michael Parsons made us say. Michael Parsons said, huh? Oh, all right. I see him.
There was a lot of freezing cold takes, but there were some diamonds hidden in the rough on that. I will say, I have to rewatch it again more thoroughly, but I had a good time rewatching the preseason because everything sounded so good before the season.
No cap, this season was like it was because there was so much shakeup. It was like, bro, anything could fucking happen.
I did say when on my not only so that Titans Jag take was so golden because I said the Jags would beat them, and then I said Titans got worse. And then I pointed out how their defense lost Landry and Simmons is a dog, but all by himself he can't do much. And like he didn't do anything this season because it's all by himself. And then I also said, Derrick Henry, like you think you're loading the box now, wait until you see a defense without a quarterback. And like that's exactly what the Titans had to deal with all season. And then I said they'll probably split a game with the Texans this season. How bad they are. And they split a game with the Texans this season. I was like, God damn, like fucking check off all those boxes for the Titans.
I didn't do the Titans was the shit. Before the Titans knew they weren't.
But here we are, Kev. I mean, it's been a long year of football. 3 games left, like you said, 2 conference championship games, and then the Super Bowl. I did for this episode. I already finished 2 of them. I'm on my 3rd one. It's my 3rd shooter because in the playoffs, all we have left is real shooters.
Yeah.
Woo, that shit's strong. I also low-key been drinking this because it's a Russian drink, and that boy Better TF fights this week in boxing.
Dang, better BF fights. And it's the Royal Rumble this weekend. I was watching the Royal
Ooh.
Rumble.
Shout out all our WWE fans.
You know, if I watch any pay-per-views, I'm gonna watch the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I don't be knowing half the niggas, the girls. Bro, you should have seen my face when I found out that the women are like super big superstars now in the WWE.
Hey, I will say one thing that I'm hating on is like the WWE does a lot of good things, but sometimes they fuck up some good things because they brought John Cena back. He showed that when he came back, it was in Tampa. I almost won tickets to go to it. I wish I did, but someone pointed out, why would you have John Cena come back on a random Friday night SmackDown when the Royal Rumble was literally a month later? And you could have had a crazy pop if you would have been like the 12th man in the Royal Rumble, and you hear that.
Oh my!
Like, bro, like that would have been insane. That would have been insane. Like seeing everyone's face that's fighting, and like Roman Reigns is in the ring. He's just like looking off to the side, like, no, I can't be. Like, you know, like that would have been like they do great things, but when people in the thread start pointing out some like missed opportunities, I'm like, damn, that's a big missed opportunity.
Was it a big deal when he came back? Like, I mean, I seen like commercials and shit. Yo, John Cena's back, but like
the biggest deal about it was he came back with a bald spot because Twitter did not leave that shit down. But they were in that bitch like zooming in on it, like, damn, like Hollywood does this to you, like, but they were hot. They said The Rock left with a full head of hair, came back bald. You almost did the same thing to Cena.
Damn, nigga got out just in time. But man, let's get to these games, man. That's lit as fuck. It's gonna be a great weekend of shit to watch. What time does the first game start?
The first game is gonna be. Oh, why did that shit close? 1 second. I believe it's at 3:30 on Sunday Eastern time. My what I had in front of me closed down for whatever reason. I'll have it up in a second. Is there? Yeah, I got it in front of me now. First game, NFC Championship, 49ers versus Eagles. Will be on Fox at 3 p.m. Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. It's looking like it may move to 3. A lot of people are betting the Eagles right now. 49ers 2.5-point underdogs on the road. How do you see this game coming down to? What do you see it coming down to? Is it coaching? Is it players? Is it schemes? How do you feel?
This is why you gotta love the NFL, right? Because in football, in boxing, and styles make fights. Even in basketball, styles can win championships. But in football, styles can win a game, but it's such a chess piece, such a chess game. You still got to play the chess game. This team both have great defenses, so they both check off the board. 10 defenses, 10 out of 10 defenses. Motherfucking their head coach, you got Kyle Shanahan. He was on the motherfucking coaching on the Washington Redskins fucking coaching super team with Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Kyle's his dad, the big Shanahan. Like he's been in this coaching game for a minute. He's been to how many fucking conference championships? He went to the Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator with the Falcons. Like motherfucking
the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, where he
went to the Super Bowl.
was running overall. It was literally one Jimmy G throw away from like a championship, a Super Bowl win
against the Chiefs. The mighty Chiefs back then, like Pat Mahomes 50 touchdown season type Pat Mahomes. So this game is gonna be interesting. So like, and then you got the quarterbacks. You got motherfucking Jalen Hurts and the fucking team and the bosses and motherfucking Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, who became something out of nothing. Right? This game checks every box when it comes to storylines, narratives. I know ESPN was probably killing that shit this week. But what do you trust more? Do you trust this defense to fuck up Mr. Irrelevant, or do you trust the coaching to have something to get Christian McCaffrey and all the weapons going, even though this defense is going to be creating pressure? So this is what makes this game so fucking crazy to pick.
Yeah, and both defenses, given both 10s, I think this is legitimately the best and second best defense in the NFL. I think 49ers have the best, and I think Eagles have the second best, and there's a very slight margin. They have two of the highest scoring defenses as well. These are defenses that get turnovers and turn them into points sometimes, pick sixes, fumble sixes. For that reason alone, like I just don't know how this is I see this game similar to Chiefs Bengals as a pick 'em. They have Eagles as a 2.5-point favorite. I understand you're giving respect to the team that when healthy, they seemed unbeatable. One of their losses is when they weren't healthy. So I mean, you can't pick anyone wrong here. I'm personally rocking with Brock Hard Purdy and this 49ers defense. Shanahan and them boys, they've been there, done that. Sirianni hasn't been there. He hasn't done that. I'm taking the more proven team. And I just think Jalen Hurts and what they've done is incredible. But there's this one facet on their defense that is a little bit weaker, that sometimes some games has been exploited. Check the Washington Commanders game. Check the games where it was real close with like the Lions and stuff. When people run up the gut against them, it typically works pretty decent. Like that's your one way of attacking is running the ball, usually up the gut. And if anyone knows how to run the ball, it's Shanahan. He knows how to get people into spaces where they will win. And now you have CMC, a legitimate running back one, Debo. Like this is nothing that I could sit here and be like, oh, there's no way I'm taking this team.
Right, that's interesting that you say that because I agree with everything you say, man. But I look at it like this: Brock Purdy has played well, and I think he's played really well because he hasn't made mistakes like that. He doesn't throw interceptions. He knows, but there are these games where he only has 183 yards. Like he can have, and then the running game kind of spazzes, so you don't notice. I think this is a game we're gonna notice. I don't think this defense is gonna crazy kill him on the pressure because the 49ers O line has blocked well all season, but they're gonna get pressure back there and make him look uncomfortable. And that they're not gonna show his Mr. Irrelevant, but they're gonna show like, yo, like this Eagles team has became determined. They're healthy, they're running at all cylinders, and their offense just has to figure something out. Jalen Hurts is gonna have to get creative this game if they really, really want to fucking win. I don't like how they're the favorites because I really like the 49ers as a favorite in this game, but they're at home. So this home crowd, even though the 49ers don't give a fuck, they'll pull up to Lambeau and beat Aaron Rodgers' ass in the snow if they got whenever they feel like it. So motherfucking it's gonna I believe in these Eagles. I think AJ Brown had a quiet game last week. He's coming ready to make some shape, make something shape. The Devontae Smith has always been a dog. Dallas Goedert a dog. And motherfucking this running game's gonna establish itself, even though this is a big tough defense. We're gonna figure something out. We can't forget the Falcons fucked this 49ers team up. Like, there's a way to beat them boys.
Yeah, and the Chiefs fucked up the 49ers, and I did see George Kittle talking about on his thing, like, because that's when people are pointing out, like, Eagles can put up points like the Chiefs do, and when the Chiefs beat the 49ers, they just put up more points. They were like, I think it almost put up 40 on them. That was also a little bit earlier in the season before the boys really got into the momentum of shutting shit down. And like second half of the season, they're unfathomable great defense.
They were gonna like I think they gave up like 7 points like in the 1/4 quarter. Like niggas probably gave like 1/4 quarter touchdown that season at the second half.
And at each someone pointed out like at each position, they have arguably the best person, if not the best, a top 5, top 3 guy. Like you look at running back, arguably CMC is the best. If you taken into account like his receiving threat, all that stuff. But even if not, top 3, top 5 guy, George Kittle, probably not the best, but if not one, he's top 3, right behind him and Mark Andrews. Then Debo, and then Fred Warner, then Nick Bosa. Like every one of these guys is a Trent Williams, the left tackle. Like these are legitimately like they're at each position they're top 5. Like so it's like
they're all game changers.
And I'm not saying I can't say the same because the Eagles, Jalen Hurts arguably was top 3 quarterback this year. Miles Sanders like top 5 in rushing yards this year. The fucking Roquan Smith, Bradbury and Darius Slay, fucking AJ Brown, like, but every one of them I would say is a slight tier under than what the 49ers have. Like AJ Brown is great, but I'm taking Debo over AJ. Miles Sanders is great, but I'm taking CMC over mine. Like Dallas Goedert is great, but I'm taking George Kittle over him. Roquan Smith is great. taking Fred Warner over him. Lane Johnson is great. I'm taking Trent Williams over him. And I just go to the only one I can't is Jalen Hurts. And that would be the factor. If Jalen Hurts comes in and balls out, fuck, I'm wrong. Eagles did that shit. But if this is anything like that national championship game, there ain't no tool on the bench that can bail you out, my guy. So give me the 49ers.
I had to blow some smoke on that one. That was a solid take, but I got the Eagles, man. I believe in them, man. Go!
Say fly Eagles fly. They've been flying pretty damn high this year. I do have a couple props. CMC over 60.5 rushing yards. I did say earlier the way to attack them is with the run game. Shanahan, I think, will get that cooking early. And CMC over 4.5 receptions. I do think that the corners are a legit problem. I don't think Debo and Ayuk are going to get crazy targets. And I think this is when Purdy might have to lean on the short reception game of CMC here and there for some dink and dunks. So over 4.5 receptions for him. And this is the playoffs. You're going to lean on your stars. When shit is going rough, you paid all this money, you made the trades, time to use the people that got you to where you are. No more trick plays, no more pull the guy off the practice squad no one's heard of. Like, no, we're going with the best of our best. And that's why I got those two props.
I respect it.
And our next game, AFC Championship, 6:30 at CBS. This line has moved a lot. The line opened, Chiefs -3. And then it moved to the Bengals -1. And now we're picking it as Chiefs -1 at home. They're the favorite. Bengal and the Burrow, they're underdogs again. Back-to-back weeks. I don't think they fucking care. How do you see this game going? Mahomes is hurt, but he was a full participant in practice. And like he's been stretching, he's been looking good, he's been jogging. He hasn't shown any major signs of like, oh, he might not be able to play.
See, niggas don't respect what we be doing for real. That boy Paul is drunk as hell right now. My boy said Bengals and the Burrow. Burrow don't respect it. And he just gave you straight analytics as he drinks some more Russian alcohol.
Right out of chasers, bro.
I'm saying niggas gotta respect the fact that niggas I be doing this shit faded. That boy be doing this shit drunk. And he's giving you a hit. And he's giving you hitters. Heaters. We're not even gonna talk about how nice the motherfucking playoff bets were looking.
21-2, bro. It's including
right.
700, plus 300, plus 500.
Come on now, get it right consistently. But we eating over here, and that's what these Bengals have been doing all motherfucking season right now. Can't remember the crazy win streak that they ended on exactly, but the Bengals are fucking fired. They've been playing phenomenal. They've been fucking up. They beat the shit out the Bills. So they look good. And the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs are a shootout team. They're going to come in here ready to fuck some shit up. Pat Mahomes does not care that his ankle was messed up. It's not going to slow down even slightly. But at least in that game was not adrenaline. There was nothing in his mind that told him he wasn't going to be playing. So this Chiefs team is going to come ready. The crowd's going to be loud. It's going to be an electric game. But boy, this Bengals team has been on fire.
You heard the Bengals team came out and said it hit the press. I am big for never letting shit hit the press because you're giving the other team bulletin board material. Like they're giving. The Bengals team is openly calling Arrowhead Stadium Burrowhead Stadium because Patrick Mahomes is 0-3 against Joe Burrow.
That's crazy.
That's Burrowhead Stadium we're going into this week, right? I'm just saying that this is the worst time, in my opinion. But we also saw Jair Alexander put bulletin board material up for Jay Jettas and lock him down. So the trends haven't hit the best this year. I do think this is the worst time, especially Eli Apple's been fucking mad shit. And if the Chiefs don't forget, like I remember Eli Apple was talking shit to Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill's been hates Eli Apple. But it wasn't just Tyreek Hill he was talking shit to. He was talking shit to the whole Chiefs squad. Like, oh, send them boys home. Have fun in Cabo. Y'all thought y'all were going to beat us? Like, all those little shits he was tweeting last year that he did to the Bills this year. Like, they're just walking with a target on their back. But they do got a John Wick quarterback. So, I don't know.
I really wish you didn't tell me that. I was so convinced on my pick walking into this podcast. I even had a conversation with my brother before the game, before the podcast, and now I'm just like, damn, why'd you say that? Eli Apple's about to get fucked up.
Dude, they don't have to. I will say Mahomes is like top 10 in yards after catch this season, and he's not up in the top 10 for deep shots either. So like the same offense they had last year with Tyreek is not the same offense they had this year, where they don't really have a guy who I think like MVS is the person that might beat someone over the deep, and like MVS is a good deep shot guy, but he's also not like I'm not worried about MVS every game. Like that's not something I'm going into like, oh, we got to worry about MVS, like how you got to do with Tyreek. So it's like Juju, Chakarius, Tony, and MVS. Kelsey's the real weapon, and it's like, but that deep threat option it really isn't there. So it is interesting to see. Like this is a completely different Chiefs offense, I think, than from last year. So it is like, how do you like? I don't know how to really break this one down. It's a pick 'em for a reason.
No cap. And I look at it like the Chiefs. If the Patrick Mahomes ankle injury is a big deal in a sense, just off the fact that like last time they played, he got the jump man touchdown. You can't really go for that athletic of a play. You can't really dive for that. And those are the plays that are gonna matter the most. Like are the plays you gotta really put your body on the line and remember, like, yo, I'm willing to die out here on this field. And I think that's the Pat Mahomes that's coming, and I'm scared.
I think at the Pat McAfee show, someone said, or maybe it wasn't that. I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but they were saying like Mahomes, he took the league by storm early. He won that Super Bowl. He went again and lost, and he hasn't made it back since. But he has such a like he did so much shit early, MVP, Super Bowl MVP, won Super Bowl, and they were like, Aaron Rodgers did all his shit early as well, and we've all been saying for the last 15 years like, where's the next Super Bowl at? And people were like, is this another Mahomes? And they're also comparing Josh Allen to that same thing, minus he doesn't have a Super Bowl win. Like it was just like they did so much shit early. And people forget like winning Super Bowl so fucking hard that like some of these greats have only ever won one. Like Peyton Manning Peyton Manning didn't win his other one until the Broncos, and he got carried on his way to it. Like it was like a shit like that. It was like everyone's expecting Mahomes to win 3 or 4 or 5 just because of how great of a team they have. That's hard to do. Like Aaron Rodgers is up there, echelon, top tier quarterback, and he might retire with just one in his belt.
No, for real. That's facts. That was a great fucking take. Motherfucking, you don't know how this game's gonna go. And I think the Pat Mahomes ankle injury is the only thing I think that can really sway. But it's not anything that I think the only difference between Pat Mahomes with one less ankle is that he's just not gonna roll out to the side of the ankle is hurt on. If the long side of the field is open, or even the short side, motherfucking, as long as it's the side that is that's good, he's gonna take off.
Chiefs are 10-0 when Mahomes throws 90% of his passes in the pocket.
Wow, that's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
But now it's decision time, man. Who you taking? Nah, fuck, I'll go first.
Go first, Kev. I went first in the NFC. I think it's only right you get the first pick here.
I really, 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 really want to pick the Chiefs. Just because I feel like this isn't the right time to talk shit. Pat Mahomes has something to prove. And this team just wants another. This team's still hungry. But I'm going to take the Bengals just because the way they decimated the Bills. They really didn't give Josh Allen a chance. They kept him in the pocket. They made him sit down and shut the fuck up. They on defense, they were hungry. They kept going. Like this game's gonna be a shootout, and it's up to Joe Beasley. Like, can Joe Beasley really continue to pick apart this defense and like really show him like, yo, I'm not scared of y'all motherfuckers. And the defense just has to get 1 or 2 stops late. If they can get 1 or 2 stops late, the same defense that stopped Pat Mahomes to a 3 and out in overtime last year, they can win this shit.
I'm taking the Bengals here, and I think they'll do it like decisively. I think the Bengals win, and their defense has just been playing like, take the playoffs alone, they're looking like a top 6, top 5 defense. Like just the way that these boys have really like if it wasn't for Trey Henderson and Sam Hubbard's 98-yard fumble recovery touchdown, we might be talking about the Ravens last week going to play the Bills. Like, their defense has really been playing spectacularly. They had Josh Allen and the Bills in a fucking box all game in their home, and the Chiefs. I give all the credit to their offensive scheme and the talent around them. But this defense, I think, honestly, will create. I think Mahomes will throw an interception. I think Mahomes will also. There will be a couple 3-and-outs. Like Josh Allen wasn't throwing interceptions early, but there were 3-and-outs when the Bengals were scoring touchdowns. And I think something similar is going to happen. I definitely could see this game being 17-7 at halftime. Bengals are winning, and the Bengals are doing the same thing they did last week, and they're just kind of coasting the second half, like running the ball a lot, scoring when they need to score, and the defense is just playing lights out. So I think the Bengals win this one pretty good.
Fuck them boys up, no cap. I mean, I like this to be a crazy ass game. I like it to be like, wow, the Bengals really going to another Super Bowl type situation.
Joe Burr, like it just the moxie, the confidence, like I cannot bet against that right now. I really cannot.
I wouldn't dare.
And then let me see. Then the other thing I'm gonna point out with this game is Chiefs are 7-1 at home. They don't lose at home. They are really good at home. Bills were 7-1 at home as well. So I mean, kind of keep that in mind. If Patrick Mahomes at home, like if they come out and put up, like if they're up 17-0, do you think the Bengals are out of it? I don't either. And that's why I think the Bengals. If the Bengals are up 17-0, I think the Chiefs are out of it.
Yeah, and the Bengals haven't given up a first quarter touchdown in a minute, and I think that's the Chiefs defense doesn't come ready to play early. Now they got to play from behind, and Pat Mahomes is gonna be trying to do all types of crazy shit.
Then, so I got a couple props. One of them, Isaiah Pacheco over 11.5 carries. This is at like plus 105 odds. He's been the running back they like to use to end the year, and I think the Chiefs are going to try to run the ball early, and 11.5 is low for I think somebody who is the running back one for this team. And I think the Chiefs know, like, if you want to beat a team, you got to do both sides of the ball. You got to throw it and run it. You can't just be throwing all day on this team, because if you do that, the Bengals will be able to play you really well. So I think he gets over 11.5 carries. Travis Kelce over 7.5 receptions. This is at plus 110 odds. Like I said for the last game, when going gets rough and it's the playoffs, you're gonna go to who works and who is your best player. And Travis Kelce is Mahomes' number one, number two. That's a safety blanket, everything. Like I think Kelce's gonna get 12 plus targets. Give me the over 7.5 receptions, and Travis Kelce over 79.5 receiving yards. I would take this up to like 85, 89, just because he's the equivalent of a wide receiver one in the playoffs. And every wide receiver one in the playoffs in the shootout, you're expecting to put up over 100 yards. Like, so give me over 79.5 receiving yards. And then I do have some, like, I won't say fun bets, but just like the plus odds that people, I've been shouting out. I'm giving out plus money odds on everything. NFC conference to win the Super Bowl this year is still sitting at plus 105. I think the Eagles and 49ers are the two best teams in NFL, two best defenses, two best all around. Like, take unbiasedness out of it. Who has the best football team on the field? It's the 49ers and Eagles. They can, on both sides of the ball, the top tier. And I can't say that about every other team. Plus 105, give me them. And then I have, for my longer shot bets, this is a plus 2,400 bet, plus 2,400. Travis Kelce to score 2 touchdowns and Christian McCaffrey to score 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Plus 2,400 odds. It's big odds, and I didn't want to have a lot of legs, a lot of shit to lean on and hope for. I'm just hoping, like, these are your stars. You're in the red zone, Patrick Mahomes, you're going to start throwing the ball. And then Christian McCaffrey, he's going to get the targets, he's going to get the runs. And I actually forgot to give out this prop for the 49ers. Brock Purdy over 1.5 passing touchdowns plus 120. I just think he's thrown over 2 almost every game he's played this year. Like, so it's just to throw 2. Give me that all day. And then my teaser I'm gonna give out is it's a 3-leg teaser plus 150 odds. 49ers versus Eagles over 40 points. I think this is going to be like a 20-24 game, something like that. Both teams scoring the 20s. Bengals plus 7, 49ers plus 8.5. I think both these games are coming down real close. No way either one of these teams is going to lose by a touchdown or more. And that's at plus 150, 20 to win 35. I threw that in. I mean 20 to win 35.
Nice. I'm fucking with it. And you've been on a fucking tear. Like, let's see if you keep killing them, man. These are all fucking very.
Yeah, that 24-1 bet is a long shot, but I haven't given out. I've given out good odd bets, but I haven't given out like something that really like put 10 to win 240 type of bet. So I felt like it's only right. I've been on a heater. Let me go on. Let me really. This is a what do they call it in basketball? A heat check.
Heat check.
This is a heat check, right? I'm taking a 3 deep. I'm taking a very deep 3 with a hand in my face right now. I'm just seeing how hot I am.
I respect it to the fullest.
All right, Kev, I'm gonna ask you one. I'm gonna need you put a little energy on. If you had not a hot take, but something you're standing on heavy, something like not a bold prediction, nothing, but just like something you can come with the energy with, something like you're stamping into existence right here.
Eagles 2 turnovers.
Eagles to force. Wait, say it again.
Eagles to force 2 turnovers.
Why?
Because this team hasn't the law of averages. Like you always say, like this team really does not fuck up crazy. So like they just haven't had to deal with no other team that looks like them. So going against another team like them, motherfucking, this team's just gonna get them frustrated. And if they're frustrated late, maybe down 2 scores, I don't know what Brock Purdy looks like under pressure.
No, I respect that for real because that's true. Like we haven't seen him really tested, and I haven't seen Brock Purdy getting rushed. And that's the one thing I think Eagles may be able to do. They had like 7 sacks last game, 6 sacks, 5 sacks. They're on a run of like 5+ sacks, like 4 games in a row. So like that's the one thing they can do is get to the QB.
And that's gonna be frustrating, especially having to look over your shoulder because he's some big motherfuckers. So yeah, I like the Eagles defense to really be the cause of rift in this fucking football game.
All right, Kat. So I given out my props. I given out my long shot bets. I even had fuck it while I'm here and the odds are still the same because I don't want to be like I have this bet later. Like go hammer this bet like I did. Plus 600 odds, 49ers to beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Plus 450 odds, 49ers to win the Super Bowl. Plus 700 odds, Brock Purdy to be the MVP.
you could have bet that shit like 3 weeks ago. You bet on their train.
I bet the Brock Purdy shit 3 weeks ago or last week. So like the odds may be a little different, but definitely if you think the 49ers are going all the way like I do, it's a QB award. Take the QB of the team that you think is gonna win.
That's real, man.
All right, and then we didn't say our locks and dogs, so I'll let everyone know we co-signed before the show started that both of our picks would be our lock and dog. So Kev's lock is the Eagles, and Kev's dog is the Bengals, and I went double dog this week. 49ers and Bengals.
Nice. I don't know. How does that work whenever we got double dog? Did we ever hit on double dogs?
We have never hit double dogs, but we also are a playoff podcast.
We're a playoff podcast. That's real. But hey, man, if that's all we got, man, that's all we got for you, Paul. You got anything else, man?
No, I mean, safe betting to everybody. Hopefully you tail us because, like I said, I'm on an incredible heater right now. It doesn't even make sense. Like 21-2, I'm picking at an incredible rate. It don't make sense. Like just ride the hot streak right now. someone says you'd never get off a horse midstream. So like I'm on the heater horse. Come ride it with me.
Hell yeah, man. But hey, man, if you didn't know, I don't mind telling you again that me and Miss Mia Bella are in this motherfucker, and this has been a Totally Blitz podcast, man. I'm in this bitch with Paul Pickham with him content. My name is Kev Waterboy Savoy, and we had to talk that bullshit for you. Had to break out all the NFC, AFC conference championships, and it's gonna be a great fucking Sunday, Paul. Everybody enjoy these last few games of football, man, and we're gonna holler at you on the next one, man. And if you didn't know, I don't mind telling you again that you's a bitch.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you could call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new. And then see some accent, all I say is true.